Buy from us. Your GM Superstore is Landmark at Taylorville. Online at landmarkattaylorville.com. And remember,
you always do better at Landmark. Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and People's Bank and Trust. They put people first. You know, milk is a staple in many comfort dishes created for the long, cold nights of winter. And while drinking nice cold milk might not be in season right now, enjoying milk and warm winter beverages still showing to be an American favorite. Hot cocoa, anyone? Here to talk with us today about some of the winter dairy drinks, Kelsey Bentlinge, a registered dietitian and nutrition educator with St. Louis Dairy Council. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
So what is a winter dairy drink? I mean, I kind of alluded to it there, hot cocoa, but tell me your take on it.
Exactly. Well, a winter dairy drink is just basically a fancy way of saying a hot beverage that's made with milk. And there's, you already mentioned hot cocoa, which is a really good example, but there's a ton of them out there that are being made with milk and have been popular for years that we love over these cold winter months that we have ahead of us. But winter is just a really great time to include milk in your beverages to keep you warm on those cold days.
Well, why is milk in these dairy drinks so important?
Well, it's a great way to get milk in because, like we said a little bit ago, a cold glass of milk isn't necessarily seasonal right now. Although I like cold milk all year long, but it's not necessarily seasonal. So putting it in a hot beverage is a great way to make sure we're still getting it into our diet because milk has those 13 essential nutrients in them. It's got calcium, potassium, vitamin D, which are all nutrients of concerns for Americans. So making sure we're getting that in. And then that calcium that's good for our bones, some good protein, things like that as well. And making sure that we're getting in 3 servings a day. And this is just a really easy, yummy way to get it in first thing.
And what are some of those examples of winter dairy drinks?
Well, first of all, coffee.
Right.
I mean, everyone loves coffee. So that's kind of first and foremost on my list. I always put a little bit of milk in my coffee first thing in the morning. And there's so many different varieties of ways that we can do our coffee in the morning. One that's really popular lately is lattes. So that includes whole milk in them. So that's a great way to get some steamed whole milk into your diet.
What is lactase?
Lactase?
Yeah.
That's actually the sugar that's found in milk.
Oh, okay.
So, lactose is the sugar that is found in milk. Lactase is the enzyme that we have in our bodies that breaks down that sugar.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So using that in your milk to kind of, okay.
So if anyone out there is lactose intolerant.
That's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah. If anyone is lactose intolerant, lactase or Lactaid pills are a great option if you are wanting to be able to still drink those yummy beverages and not have the tummy trouble afterwards. Lactaid is a good option, or you can get lactose-free milk that's on the market now too. So
right, and that still has all the nutrition that dairy has. It just doesn't have the lactose.
Exactly. It has all the same nutrition. It's just the sugar is already broken down for your body to cope with.
And then you can, of course, add creamer. I'd imagine you would recommend the dairy creamer, though.
Yes. Yeah. Making sure you're getting in the dairy creamer so you get all that good nutrition. You can do cappuccinos. There's macchiatos, mochas, so many different delicious options out there for you to try out. And you can create your own drinks at home, too, and save a little cash instead of driving through the coffee line in the morning.
You know,
thing.
One of the things that keeps me from doing that on my own, as far as I like the fancy drinks, the lattes, the mochas, but I mean, is it really that hard to make, especially like for example, a latte?
Yeah, it's definitely not. You just have to have the right tools at home. A latte is steamed milk, and actually a cheap and easy way to make frothy steamed milk at home is by heating it up in a mason jar and shaking it up, and then heating it up again for 30 seconds. So that kind of stabilizes that froth. So if you're wanting to make a latte at home, there is a cheap and easy way to do it. But like you said, I like the fancy drinks too. So figuring out how to do it at home is the hurdle we have to cross there.
What about like a mocha? for example, like espresso? How do you make a mocha?
So we actually have a mocha recipe on our website this month. It's a white chocolate mocha.
That's my favorite.
It's so good. We tried it at the office and we were all big fans. So, and it's coffee, white chocolate, melted in milk and then whisk it up really good. And it's delicious. It's such a simple way to make a delicious coffee drink at home and save that $5 you would have spent at the coffee shop.
The white chocolate mocha. I like right now, especially I know it's a little early, but peppermint white mocha is my favorite.
It's
right now.
not too early. I've seen those out at coffee shops already.
I know. As soon as the calendar flips into November, it's Christmas season, right?
No one remembers about Thanksgiving.
No, except for me because I like to eat.
Yes.
Well, what about if I don't like coffee? What's out there for me?
There's a ton of other delicious drinks out there for you. We've already talked about hot chocolate. There's so many different variations of hot chocolate you could do, or just simply doing warm milk. That's a great way, especially if you're having trouble sleeping, to get to sleep at night. Some warm milk, you can add vanilla or honey, things like that. You could also add milk into your tea as well. So there's a lot of different options out there if you're not into coffee.
Yeah, I don't mean to get into the weeds of it, but why does warm milk seem to help us sleep?
I wish I knew the science behind this.
All right. That's fair enough.
maybe it's a little bit in our heads, but I think it's just that warm beverage right before bed, or like a sleepy time tea.
Right. I was going to say a non-caffeinated tea can also really help you.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's just that warm drink that settles us in. It's kind of like a comfort food.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah, a relaxing thing.
Unwind.
Yes.
Help you sleep. I like that explanation anyway. Better than any scientific explanation you could have given, I'm sure. Any other recommendations for if for those who maybe don't like coffee very much?
Well, you can, like we said, we were talking about the hot chocolate, but there's lots of variations of hot chocolate out there too. You can do the chocolate balls that are really popular now.
Oh, what are those?
They're literally like a chocolate ball, and then on the inside it has the hot cocoa mix. So when you pour the hot milk over top of it, it melts like a bath bomb, kind of, which is a weird description.
I've heard it called like a hot cocoa bomb.
Yeah, hot cocoa bomb. That's another way people describe it. Those are really popular and fun, and the kids really seem to like them. They usually have like marshmallows on the inside that float to the top after it's all melted together, and they're delicious, I must say.
Right, and add a little milk to that.
Yes, yeah, and the milk that kind of melts it all. You get that milk steamed up and hot, and then pour it over top. It's so delicious. So,
what about that caffeine content? I alluded to it a moment ago, but should they be concerned with the caffeine content in some of these drinks?
All caffeine is good in moderation, and I'm a dietitian, so I say that all the time. All things in moderation. We just got to make sure we're not getting too much, drinking coffee all day type of thing. But caffeine is a stimulant, and over 60% of us Americans are drinking coffee every day. So we are getting this stimulant constantly in our diet. The big thing is to note is coffee has about 100 to 150 milligrams of caffeine per cup. We should probably stay under 400 a day.
Okay.
That's a good recommendation. Less for pregnant women, 200 milligrams for pregnant women, less for teens, 100 milligrams for teens. So tea has a little bit, some sodas have caffeine. Hot cocoa has a tiny little bit of caffeine in it. So just kind of keeping that in mind and not going crazy.
I didn't realize, it sounds like it's very little, but I didn't realize hot cocoa had caffeine in it.
Yeah, well, chocolate has caffeine in it.
Blowing my mind today, Kelsey.
Yes, but it is a small amount.
Right.
Hot cocoa only has a maximum of about 10 milligrams compared to coffee at 100. So
yeah, for those who drink coffee, that's like nothing.
Wouldn't even phase you.
Right. What are real quickly here? What are some of the negative effects of drinking too much caffeine? Like you said, over 400 milligrams a day.
Yeah, well, it can have effects on your blood pressure. It can get your heart pumping too quickly and kind of put strain on your heart, especially for people out there with heart conditions. They really have to look out for that. So there's reasons why we don't want to have too much, but it is a vasoconstrictor, which is a really big word that means that it constricts our veins a little bit. So it makes our blood pump faster. So that's why we don't want to have too much. But all things in moderation. It's not bad for us, but we've got to look out for how much.
And then when you have that moderate amount of coffee, put a little bit of milk in it too.
Exactly. Then we're watering down that caffeine there too.
Right. You're kind of limiting, and then you're putting good nutrients into your body as well.
That too. We're adding those 13 essential nutrients.
Well, I want to talk more about this topic. It's a great topic right now, especially as not yet, but weather will start to turn cold here pretty soon. So I have registered dietitian Kelsey Bentledge with the St. Louis Dairy Council in studio right now, and she'll talk more about this topic after the short timeout. Right here on the WTIM Morning Show, your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and people's bank and trust. They put people first.
WTIM.
I'm Wes Bogenpole, your Christian County State's Attorney, asking for your vote on November 8th. I spent my entire career as a prosecutor. I focused on this career choice ever since deciding to become a lawyer. I knew I wanted to work with law enforcement. I spent the first 7.5 years of my career as a prosecutor in the Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office before becoming your Christian County State's Attorney earlier this year. I would be honored to continue serving you as our Christian County State's Attorney.
Vote for my dad, West Pogenpole State's Attorney.
Thanks, June. This ad is paid for by Citizens for West Pogenpole.
Huge investment, probably the biggest of your life. Huge decision. Who's my realtor? Easy answer. Curvy Real Estate. Joe and his agents have been living, eating, and breathing this stuff for years. Curvy knows how important this process is to you. That's why your research, combined with Curvy's knowledge, energy, and effort, make a powerful partnership that'll land you in the home you really want. Buying or selling, you'll get the feeling Curvy's got your best interest in mind, because they do. See them on West Springfield Road or online at curvyrealestate.com.
Hi, this is Jared White, host of Central Illinois Outdoors, inviting you to find us on the internet. We are up and running at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. You can jump on there to find our Catch of the Week segment. Also, our archive shows. After they air on the weekend, you can find them every Monday at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. So listen when you can. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Central Illinois Outdoors. Central Illinois Outdoors on Facebook or at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. We'll see you there.
At Taylorville Vision Source across from the high school, we are here for all your eye care and eyewear solutions. Your eyes are a window to your overall health, so schedule an exam with me, Dr. Emily Smith, today. You can also stop in anytime to check out our new eyewear collections. Don't forget your vision benefits that expire at the end of the year. Let us help you get the most out of the benefits you've already paid for at Taylorville Vision Source across from the high school, enhancing vision, enriching lives.
If you're looking for local hunting and fishing information, then join us for Central Illinois Outdoors with me, Jared White, Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on WTIM. Every weekend, we'll offer detailed local fishing reports from professional guides. We'll swap stories with local celebrity sportsmen, and I'll invite you to share your stories as well. Central Illinois Outdoors with Jared White, every Saturday morning at 10 on all WTIM platforms. And on demand at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. Brought to you by Bob Ridings in Pana and the Clinton, Illinois Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau.
C&B Bank and Trust is helping to open doors for your wealth. Schedule your appointment with Victor Henson by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Not FDIC insured, no bank guarantee, may lose value.
Hi, I'm Bob Ridings of the Bob Ridings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm Avery Cooper. Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark and people's bank and trust. They put people first. Enjoying milk and warm winter beverages is an American favorite, and I have Kelsey Bentledge, a registered dietitian and nutrition educator with St. Louis Dairy Council, here to talk about it. And so what else should consumers know about warm dairy drinks here, Kelsey?
Yeah, so we kind of already touched on how doing these drinks at home will save you a ton of money, but milk is really cost efficient. These mochas and cappuccinos and lattes that we could buy for quite a few dollars at the coffee shop. We could also bake at home and make it really cost efficient by buying bulk coffee, large amounts of milk to have on hand and things like that. And most of these don't even need special equipment. You just need a coffee pot and things that you already have in your kitchen. So that's the exciting part there too.
Yeah, I would say so. Let's Shift gears a little bit. Why do milk sales increase during the winter months? I would think, like you kind of alluded to, that it would be the opposite, that as the temperature starts to heat up, people want reach for a glass to quench their thirst. But why during the winter months?
Yeah, that is a really good point, and it's because people like to cook with it in the winter time. So where it's kind of a staple in casseroles and soups, and I just made a potato stew or a potato soup this weekend that had a ton of dairy food in it. So lots of soups, desserts, also in baked goods for holiday gatherings. So while we might not be drinking it in a glass form, we could be eating it in our meals or also making it in our warm dairy drinks that we've been talking about too. So people love to stock up before gatherings, also before winter storms too,
Right.
it seems like.
Something that I think of all the time when I think of holiday and I think dairy, and I'm not even sure this actually fits. Eggnog. Is there how much dairy is in eggnog?
It's a dairy food, absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Eggnog is a traditional dairy treat. So that is one great way that you can get your dairy in over the holidays. Of course, that's, adds a little sugar and fat to the mix too. So you got to watch how much you eat or drink of the eggnog, but it is definitely an awesome dairy treat over the holidays. We all love eggnog.
I mean, there's eggs in it. You're kind of eating. No, you're drinking it. I just trying to. Anyway. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to point that out to emphasize that, it's another way you can get the dairy, but like you said, just got to be a little bit careful with it.
Yeah, not get carried away. It's just like anything. Ice cream is one of the healthiest desserts that are out there, but we've got them all in moderation. It's all in moderation.
Right. And you can add the eggnog, and I like to add it into coffee and other stuff like that too. It's a great additive, like we were talking about with other milk products.
Yes, it makes a good creamer. That's for sure. Good holiday creamer.
Well, you mentioned stocking up before events or storms. Is there a concern with keeping milk on hand during the winter?
It's not necessarily a concern like the stores are going to run out of it type of concern, but it can be a concern because you could be in the middle of making a recipe and run out. And that's the most frustrating thing to do. So a lot of people stock up. They also stock up because of winter storms and making sure that, if they can't get out, that type of thing. And milk, we can always freeze. That's always
going to ask.
Yeah, we can always freeze milk. That's a great option. And also shelf stable milk is something that's new in the stores now too. It's the same milk. It's the same product. It's just pasteurized a little bit hotter to make it last longer. And so it stays shelf stable for about 6 months. And then once you open it, then it becomes just like any other milk. So once that seal's broken, you have that 3-week, lifespan in the refrigerator. So that needs to be noted too. But it's a great option too for people to have as backup. If you run out of your regular milk, well, I have some in the pantry that I can grab too.
Right. And with that, freezing milk, right? Is there anything I need to remember in regards to using that frozen milk?
Yes. Make sure you take a little bit out of the top so that your milk jug doesn't explode. Whenever it freezes, it expands a little bit. So there needs to be about a glass taken out of the top so that it doesn't explode in your freezer. I wouldn't want that to happen to you at home.
But as far as the thawing process and everything, just thaw it out and use it like you would.
Yeah, just move it from the freezer to the fridge and let it thaw out. And yeah, just like you would have if it was fresh.
Well, you've given a lot of fun drink ideas and dairy information today. So where can people find this information and other information about dairy?
Head to our website at www.stldairycouncil.org. Also, social media. We're always posting fun recipes there and the handle for that on Facebook and Instagram is at STL Dairy Council. Make sure you hop on the website to check out that white mocha recipe that we white chocolate mocha. It's delicious, top notch.
Yeah, I love white chocolate mochas from coffee stands. But homemade, you can't beat it, right?
Exactly. You got to give it a try at least.
Yeah. Anything else that you'd like to emphasize or reiterate here as, we have just a moment before you go.
Yeah. Well, make sure that you get out and try some warm dairy drinks, whether it's at home or at a coffee shop and have a wonderful, time enjoying these hot drinks before this cold weather starts coming up.
Yeah. Sounds like it's not going to be too long. That's registered dietitian with the St. Louis Dairy Council, Kelsey Bentledge, here on the WTIM Morning Show. Kelsey, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Your stream brought to you by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. You'll find those streams online on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook or on YouTube when you search WTIM TV.
WTIM.